financially set and meet those big goals that I was dreaming of. And Steve and I are getting ready in 3 months to pay our house off. And this could have never happened if I didn't, join in and see what this was all about. And it really does happen. So just coming from a person that hit global last year and was able to not global, but go global and see what it was all about. It was like, it really does happen. Watching all those stories up on stage, wondering if I could ever be that person, having those stories myself. And it's happening right now.
Like the coaching Monroe that you can't bowl,
Oh, hold on a second. I got to mute a few people. One second. Hold on. There we go. Mute. Here we go. Everyone's jumping in right now. Hold on. Lisa, that's amazing. Here, go ahead and finish that. Like, you never thought that would be possible?
No, I never thought it could be possible because I just, it happens as fast as you guys say it happens when you do the work. And I thought, oh man, this is just too good to be true. Can it really happen? Does it really happen this fast? And it does. If you do the work and you go on these every Saturday. I haven't given up one Saturday since last year. I've always, tuned into these, and it pays off. It's the best feeling in the world. It works.
Congratulations on that milestone. That's so exciting. Like, it is fun seeing, like, this is like a year since you got started. So watching that and all the people's lives you changed, truly amazing. Let's do a few more. I know we just hit 7:02, but I want to give a shout out. So first of all, Laura Dumas's birthday. Drop it in the chat. Happy birthday. It's also Michelle Belleville's birthday. Congratulations. It's also Allison's Petty 10-year anniversary today. So shout out to her. Let's see here. Lee, you hit the Big Thinkers Club yesterday. I want to give a shout out to Lee. So actually, Lee, can I call on you? Can we celebrate that win? Like, you have been mega consistent. Can you share one of your wins on this?
You mean me, Brad?
No.
No.
Lee Card. But yes, you're on.
Got it. All right. Go for it.
Can you hear me, Brad?
I can hear you, Lee. Congrats on the Big Thinkers Club. Your health journey is amazing, and Big Thinkers Club and everything. Congratulations. Share some wins on that.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun, and one of the great things about it has been being able to reach back to Karen and April and my mentor team when I have those questions. But seriously, attending these trainings, I love these trainings and the gold nuggets that I learn every year. Every time I go on Saturdays, I've been doing this for a year now, and when I first started, it was overwhelming, but it just gets better and better. And the fact that I learned so much from my mentorship team as well as from the community of awesome coaches. Everyone is so giving, and just being consistent. Everything that you say happens. It actually happens. So doing the 3x3s and reaching out and having conversations, and the fact that I'm actually talking more to people about being a coach, and they're friends of mine. So it just keeps getting better and better. So thanks.
Lee, congratulations. So excited for your health, for everything. It's been a whole year difference. So congratulations. I think that kicks us off really well today. So Dawn, let's dive in today. People are ready to rock. This is week number 6. Let's get into it. Actually, just as we're kicking off here, drop me a 1 in the chat if you're ready to rock this morning. You've had your coffee, you're ready to learn, you're ready to get going here. All right, let's see here. I think we are ready to go. Dawn, you ready?
Holy smokes, yep, ready. Look at the chat blowing up. I love it.
All right, guys, welcome to week number 6. My name is Brad Miller, Integrated President Director. I got Dawn Chow with me, FIBL. Dawn, we're ready to drop some knowledge today. We made it to week number 6. And basically, I just want to congratulate you all for the consistency, for the growing, for a record month that we're tracking for. By the way, it's a shorter month. No one seemed to tell any of you guys that. For just the breakthrough that's happening. And for you, just like Lee said, just like Lisa said, It's the consistency that builds everything. It builds trust that breakthrough can happen. It builds trust in yourself. It builds like the understanding that people can move forward. It grows your business. And every single month after we do these trainings is the month that's always the best. Plus we have March coming, which is historically a great month as well. Not that any one month is more catastrophically huger, that's not a word, but than the other, but it still is kind of, you guys get the picture, is I'm really excited for what's to come right now. Summer is coming soon. You guys have played consistent. You guys have seen like people that have come on and been that catalyst for other people. You have people that have probably watched. You have people trying other things, and your consistency will lead to that breakthrough. So just wanted to say congrats again. We've learned it all. Don, we've gone through everything. We've gone through social media. We've gone through setting up a really awesome schedule. We've gone through all those things, which we're going to cover here in a second. And I just want to give a big props to all the new senior coaches. We have a ton of new senior coaches today, and we're still a week out of the month. And we have a lot of people tracking for their first month of executive director on that note. Dawn, anything you want to add as we start off today?
No, I'm just so excited, you guys. I mean, what we've talked about over the last 5 weeks and now kind of culminating to this point, it all leads into each other. And it's just the steps, and it's being consistent and honestly coming together as a group. Iron sharpens iron. So and Brad is so right that it's the month after we have these trainings where it all kind of gels and clicks and comes together, and you see like just massive amounts of growth. And you're going to look back and be like, wow, where did that come from? Oh, I learned that during boot camp, and it's inside of you, and it's going to come out.
I love it. I love Lee just nodding intensely about that, because it's so true. So speaking of that, yes, we are back together today. If you guys weren't aware, we sent Dawn's crew off because there's just so many people that we want to hear the voices from, because we have so many people winning in our crew that we just want to share the knowledge. But we're back today because we're covering one of the most important topics, which is, plus we have all the chat's blowing up right now. We have all the topics, we have the new OLC that we want to just give a little bit of clarity on, but also this topic is the game changer. It's how to launch coaches well. We're going to get into that in a second, but before we get into that, open up that chat. I wanted to ask you guys one last thing. And first, again, I just want to congratulate you all on the consistency. And I say that so much because consistency is the breakthrough. I didn't know when I had my first bar, when I started this program, that it was going to lead to so many things breaking through in my life. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can kind of think to that same deal. So just the consistency, the commitment to yourself, being around people that want to grow is truly special. And I just want to encourage you guys this morning, because becoming off to be a coach and deciding to grow through this and invest in yourself, it's like the single most like best personal development process you can get into. I mean, think about it. We take on our health. We work on ourselves. We become a better person. We help other people. So as we start off today, you can put it in the chat or write it down, up to you. But I would ask you, what is the greatest thing you've gained since starting coaching? What, and then the next two things is, what has been the biggest blessing? And I know you can name a bunch, but I want us to like zone in on this. I want you to think about one person's life you've truly changed since starting this process, because we're making this world a better place while we're growing and bettering our own lives. Dawn, I can't keep up with the chat. There's too many things happening.
I know, this is incredible. Confidence, empowerment, personal growth. Oh my gosh, like I can't, community, friends, family, my personal health. You guys, this is incredible. Positive influence, empowerment, encouragement, helping others while staying accountable. Guys, I'm not a fast reader. This is seriously awesome.
So amazing. All right, guys, let's hop into it today. But that's the last thing I wanted to just congratulate you on your consistency, because that's what creates breakthrough. This is a personal development growth process, the best one you could possibly be on. And I just want to thank you, because like, you should be surrounding yourself with people that want you to be better and push you to be better. And you are all of that for all of us here. So I just want to congratulate and thank you guys for being on today. So with that being said, let's hop in to week number 6. If you didn't already put it in the chat, name or where you're tuning in from, and do you have snow or not? Because some of us do, some of us don't. So, but we're going to jump in today Again, guys, remember, we're just displaying this right now. Skill set plus mindset plus action plus consistency equals success. You guys are seeing this happen now. Like, we got through December. We did January, February, even on a short month. Like, we're building towards the chasm of March and April, and I'm really excited to kick off March together with you guys next week. Again, the path for success on this, which we'll be talking a little bit at the very end, is that your goal is if you are at senior coach or above, we have two main goals. One is go executive director, and I'm really excited to say there's like 35 plus people in range of that this month for the first time, so congrats to you guys. Give yourself some props if you are close, or actually put a 2 in the chat if you are shooting for your first or second month of executive director in the chat. Drop the 2 in there. Do that. And also congrats to all of our new senior coaches that have hit already this month. Congratulations. And then we have a group of people that are working on Big Thinkers Club. Like Lee, congrats, Lee, on hitting your first month of Big Thinkers Club. It's a big step in the process, so congratulations. You guys have learned it all, guys. We over the last 6 weeks, we've gone through the steps, and like Lee was talking about, like Lisa was talking about, we've gone through the things that if you just continue to stay consistent on, it makes a difference. We went over social media, how to be bold, authentic, awakening potential. We went over that was our bonus training. Week number 1, we went for the path and the cornerstones of growing a business. What's the path for changing lives? Compensation, to understand like how we get rewarded for that. And scheduling like a pro. Laura just blew some minds on just the mindset on scheduling your life around matters most. Week 2, we went into awakening clients. We talked about the actions that do that. Danae talked about the vision. We're actually bringing her back today for Andrea, who has the flu. So everyone, if you know Andrea Simpson, send her some love. She has the flu today, so Danae is going to step in for her. But Danae and DJ talked about how there's like people looking for help everywhere. We've covered supporting clients, starting the month strong. We've talked about supporting your clients well during the first 30 days. And then last week we talked about all the rocks that make the difference: mid-month pulse check, follow-up, referrals, integration calls. Don, we've covered it all. Anything you want to just give some just extra kudos to as we go in today? Because sometimes we don't realize, oh my gosh, I have learned a lot over this last little bit, and my whole change this year is going on.
Right. And sometimes each week, like we said, it builds on each other, and we've heard so many different voices throughout this last 5 weeks that I just think it's awesome, Brad, because you get to hear from the people who are not only doing the do, but they're real. They're just like you. They're just like me. They're just, maybe they've practiced a little bit longer. Maybe they've been around for a year, maybe for 2 years, maybe for 5 years. But every single time you hear a new person and a new voice speak, you get to hear that it's the same thing that we're all doing. It's all in the consistency. It's all in the steps. It's all really in the feeling, putting not just checking the boxes, but putting your heart into it. That is the key to this. And we've covered all of it in little sections over the last 5 weeks. And again, it's all going to come together. So yeah, nothing really more to add, Brad, than just, I'm really excited for today to tie that together in talking about how this all naturally flows into exploring coaching and launching and getting started and helping people pay this forward.
Exactly. And actually to that point, there's so many stories that we want to share here, but we were just talking about who are some people that have just really honed these things in and have seen the benefit of their business. So Susan LaBelle, you want to give a shout out to Lynn on there and have her share just real quick. It's almost her health coaching anniversary. So you want to bring on Lynn and just have her share some of these wins and how just getting this stuff dialed in has taken her business to the next level?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. And yeah, Brad put a shout out. He was killing the game. Could have called on so many of you. Just read the chat. You guys are all doing awesome. But Lynn's just someone that came to mind. She works really closely with Becca Eng. And what I saw was she has a lot of clarity on what she wants. So she set really clear goals. And so she's super coachable and fun to work with. And I feel everything we've been teaching, it's not just coming to learn. She's really coming to learn, but also to implement. Where do I tweak? And then I see that move into action. And she's seeing the results from just really following the system. So Lynn, I'd love for you to come off and share in a little humble brag on her. She has started 4 new partners already this month in February. Just from doing everything we've been teaching over this last series. So, Lynn, come off, share some knowledge bombs here with us.
Hi guys, thank you so much for inviting me to share this morning. I'm so excited. I can't. When I was talking to Susan and Brad this morning about all of this, it's mind blowing to me that it hasn't even been a year that I've been a coach yet. it won't be a year until like the end of March. But from the very beginning, I've just seen the possibilities because Susan she challenged me to see that. She asked me from the beginning what my goals were. And, even though I was not sure about what those really were at the beginning, I kind of just threw a couple things out there. And when I was able to achieve those goals, it just kind of lit a fire under me, I guess, is like the only way to kind of explain it. If I could, 4 coaches, it's been totally amazing and fun. I was telling Brad and Susan this morning that, the key for me this month has been leaning into my support team even more. From the beginning, that's been key for me. And then this month, I was just listening as Dawn was talking about last week, and the game changers. This month, I've really dialed into the systems even more, and have relied on Susan and Becca to do some integration calls for me, and just really layering that coaching from the very beginning. And it's made a difference. These 4 people are people that I'm super excited about, and I want everybody to have what we have. When I joined a year ago, I didn't have a clue that, I would be able to go on the cruise in a month, or to have the extra income that I have now. I'm a teacher, and, this has been life-changing for me. And I know that the possibilities are, beyond what I can even imagine at this point. But I want it all. And I want everyone that isn't doing this with us to have the opportunity to grow and change like we have, not only in health, but in everything else. So yeah, that's it. I think that you have to be willing to, to dial into the systems. I was listening to Lee talk about, being on the calls, and being here has been something that from the very beginning, I've made this a priority, and I love it. I love everything about it. I want everyone to know all about this and have what we have.
Awesome one. I love that. I love the dreaming big and just doing the work and wanting to give this away and dialing it in. Congratulations. Congrats on the wins. And happy, it's almost your 1-year anniversary of coaching. Congratulations. And just had your 1-year anniversary of your health journey. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All righty, guys. We could go all day long with these stories. And what's cool is, just like for all you new coaches, it never gets old. It never stops getting more awesome. And it just keeps growing here. So we're going to dive in today and show you how to awaken people and more partners. So Dawn, let's see here. Okay, so we're going to move into that. We've already gone through the basics. We've gone through awakening clients, supporting clients. You guys are becoming pros of this. And I just want to edify something Dawn had mentioned there, is that just it is you take something away each time. Even if the one thing you take away is the fact that you committed to your consistency and where you are going and what you and like being professional in what you're doing. So today we're going to talk in awakening and supporting coaches like champs, how to help them launch well, how to believe in them, what creates success with this. And we're going to go over that right now. So grab your pen and paper, take some notes. Also, if you're a new coach, basically this is what we're going to set you up for success today. So welcome today. But again, we've covered, actually, Dawn, you take this slide right here. Awakening coaching, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've been talking about in supporting clients really well, you guys, and even with how we celebrate them and we pull them into our community and we wrap them into our 4 components, that's what we've been talking about over the last 5 weeks. All of that awakens the coaching journey so organically, and it's almost always that next natural step. So what we've been covering over the last few weeks is all leading up, and you guys are probably having these conversations already. You're already having these conversations with your clients, whether it's on the health assessment because you're getting really good at listening to what their needs are and making that match, or it's on your weekly client support calls. And Danae is going to go over this and kind of how this kind of weaves into just the whole journey of our clients as we're supporting them. But coaching comes up in so many ways and so many different conversations all across with what we do with supporting them well. It is the next step because it creates accountability. It's fun. And when we really want to support our clients to long-term success, I mean, just like what Lynn shared, she wants everybody to have what we have. Why wouldn't we want to encourage them to become part of that extra step of accountability, this extra layer of community, this family that we are? So we're looking for people who are not only looking for a solution, and they're also looking for more, but they're ready. You guys, it is just like as we're looking for when our clients are ready, because there's so many people out there looking for solutions, and they're looking for more. We're also looking for the people that are ready, and recognizing that ready doesn't always mean they are like knocking down your door and they're calling you and they're saying, I want to be a health coach. Although some do. Allison Petty reached out to me because of how I showed up on social media. She saw that I was celebrating Brian coming home from his full-time job. And that girl picked up the phone and called me. She was like, I got to know what you're doing, because I want that in my life. So you guys, as you're showing up and living out loud, leading with your health, leading with your life, right? Leading with your life. How you show up will awaken others, and they will reach out to you, but it doesn't always look like them like jumping on you like, okay, I'm ready to coach. Listen to what they're saying. So that's also what we've been talking about over the last few weeks. But we're looking for the people that are ready, and that is us listening to what they're saying and listening to those clues and making the match. Knowing that true value of what we have in our hands, which I think we've been doing a really wonderful job of painting that picture and just showing you guys, seeing it in people before they see it in themselves. So seeing that the long-term relationship, and honestly, you guys, as you look at your map, and we're going to be talking about finishing the month strong, but as you look at your map and you look at each and every one of those names, and you realize that each name represents a family, represents a community, represents so many other lives that could be potentially touched by that person. All of a sudden, the fact that we're planting those seeds and that we're literally loving on those relationships becomes such a natural process. And so we drip and we layer, and then we listen for that right timing to make the invitation. But there's a difference between a drip, a layer, and an invitation. And so that's also what we're going to be talking about today. The drip and the layer, that happens just in our natural conversation. And then having, knowing when and how to make that bold invitation. So, Danae is going to talk a little bit about that, but just like with health, it can take 5 to 12 touches. And sometimes, you guys, we do a really great job following up with our potential clients, but I just want to have you right now take just a little mental gut check, just a little gut check. How well are you doing following up with your potential coaches? Okay. And just maybe a little gut check there. And I'm going to challenge you to make a commitment. Okay. Over the next, well, forever. Okay. But let's do a really good job over the next forever. Brad's cracking up, but let's make a commitment to follow up and follow through, because someone cared enough about you that they did that. And so let's care enough about those people in our world that we'll do that. We'll go ahead and we'll show up in their lives for 5 to 12, for however many touches it takes. Because people will be ready, but in different timing, and keeping it simple and fun. Brad, anything you want to add to this? But I just wanted to kind of paint the picture of how this is such a natural, heartfelt process, and it's all about the relationship.
I mean, you basically nailed it. And I mean, like, if you paid attention to the last few weeks, it's like the things like that Susan talked about. I mean, I know we had separate trainings, so I don't know who trained on those topics on your guys' training, but like whoever trained a topic, like we talked about the masterful things, the little touches that you do, the little extra relationship building, the things that make the difference. It flows here if you see the potential. Back to like, Danae's going to be talking today, but she spoke earlier a few weeks ago about just seeing that potential in people from early on and then investing in that relationship. That's the difference maker. So besides that, I have nothing else to add. So good. So let's talk about the different ways that people awaken to coaching, because I'm sure so many people are like, great, I'm down. I want this. I want to help more people. You guys are already doing this. A lot of you guys are new, and then this is coming. So what are some of the ways this happens? And I also want to give one thing to what something you said earlier, Don, is, a lot of times people ask as they're growing, they're like, okay, what's the one thing I got to do? And it's like, the one thing you got to do is, you wonder why we talk about consistency, because I've been coaching for close to 10 years, and there's not one major thing I did that changed my business. It was a lot of little touches, that one little love touch, that one showing up that day when I didn't want to, that one little like learning how to like say, am I coaching them or are we coaching them together? All the little things make the difference over time. So if you can just commit to that, just getting better and being consistent, that's what makes the difference. But let's talk about the different ways that people awaken to coaching as we're being consistent and more people are awakening to health and seeing us day by day.
Awesome. Yeah. And there's a question in the chat from Dennis or Denise. But what is dripping? Dripping is everything that we do when we're talking, when we see what's possible, but we're talking about what the next steps in their journey naturally are. So as we talk about the different ways people awaken to coaching, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about what is dripping and what is layering. Very similar. But people will reach out to you, and sometimes it's the first thing they reach out about because they're noticing how you're living your life. They're noticing how you're showing up. Allison Petty picking up the phone and calling me. I'm seeing what's going on in your life. And by the way, she didn't know me. I'm friends with her husband. So she reached out to someone that she kind of barely knew because she loved what she saw and she could feel it and she wanted more. So sometimes they'll reach out because you've been dripping, you've been layering with how you're living. And that literally just means, do people know what you have in your hands? Do they know that you can share it? And do they know that you're willing and able to help them have more of whatever it is they want in their lives? So you've dripped a few times and they ask about it, which means you've maybe said something like this on a weekly client celebration call, or maybe on an integration call. Oh my gosh, loved your post in the client support page. You are cheering on so many other people. Gosh, you seem just like a coach. I love that. When you are cheering on others, you're going to be able to XYZ. Like, that's dripping. That's layering. You are authentically celebrating and congratulating them for maybe cheering on someone else. You're congratulating them for the qualities that would make them a great coach, that would help them help someone else. And you're pointing out how they're already doing it, whether they have an official coach hat on or not. Maybe they have their first referral, or you ask the magic, and then you get to ask that magic question. So let's say, for example, you're doing a week 2 call with your client and you're, oh my gosh, you're down 8 pounds. This is amazing. I bet that feels great. What else are you celebrating? Maybe they say, well, you know what? My mom noticed and I think she might be ready to join too. And you say, oh my gosh, Lynn, that's so exciting. Well, am I going to coach your mom by myself, or would you like to coach her together? And she's like, well, I've never thought about that. Well, I think you'd be great at it. How about let's explore that? Okay, Danae's going to go into what to do then, but that's a way that a lot of coaches get started. They have people noticing and they're trying to send them to you, and you get to ask that question. I ask this question all the time. Am I coaching them alone, or are we going to coach them together? And then maybe they post on Facebook because they're living out loud, because you've encouraged them to, because they're celebrating the fact that they're back in their skinny jeans, or they've learned to cook amazing meals that their whole family likes, and they put a picture up. Like, they're just naturally people who like to share it with others. Ding, ding, ding. That's a coach right there. And so identifying it and celebrating it. Here's the thing. They won't naturally think that would help them be a good coach. They're just living their life and doing their thing. Our job is to have our glasses on and to be aware and to be seen. What are they doing? How are your clients living out loud? What are they posting in the client support page? Are they cheering others on? And if they are, celebrate that. Tell them they're doing a good job. And the cheering there is letting them know, oh my gosh, you are helping other people. You are acting just like a health coach. That's how I got started, was when people started noticing, because I was just living out loud with my own journey. Maybe you did an integration call with them and they straight up want to know more, because that was a great little window into being able to say, oh my gosh, I know your mom and your sister and your brother are really interested. You know what? I think it might be the right timing to kind of explore what it's going to look like for us to help them together. Why don't I send you a video and let's talk about that? So that's how people awaken to coaching. Or maybe you invited them to a rewards of coaching call, because we have those every once in a while. We have them after the Habits of Health call. You know what, guys? Was it 2 weeks ago when Dan Bell did the rewards of coaching after the Habits of Health call? I had 3 or 4 clients message me afterwards, because I had sent them the link and let them know what was happening. They listened on their own and then they reached out. So the next time I chatted with them, I was like, hey, how'd you like the Habits of Health call? Did you happen to stay on after? Yep. And that has led to a couple conversations about coaching with those people. But again, I followed up on it. I thought to ask them. You talk to them out and about, and that opened up their curiosity. Or they say they've got people noticing when you're talking to them. There's so many ways that what it does, you guys, is it opens the door for you to ask some questions and to have a conversation about it. Brad, anything else you wanted to add in here?
No, I think we can all look back to all these times, and I think this is like a reticular activator thing. It's kind of like when you buy a blue car and then you notice all the blue cars. Now that you see these, you probably see the different areas where this could be showing up, and you find it more. And just also, like, there's going to be the drips, there's going to be the layers, and then there's the invitation. Like Ashley's done a training before, which I plus Q equals A, and it's like a drip is not an invite. Like that'd be like saying like, hey, I have a party going on. You'd be great to go to it. Like that's not an invitation. They'd be like, okay, am I invited? Like, then there's the, hey, I want you there, let's party. So this is so helpful, Don, because I think all of us are probably thinking like, oh my gosh, yes, these are all the scenarios. So write those down. And I love it because in the chat, Allison's like, yep, and now I couldn't live without you, Don. And then Kaylee chimed in, was like, and then I'm glad that Allison shared it with me. So I love it. That's what we're doing here. So let's go over this. This is where I would encourage you guys to take some notes, because this is where we see like we get the most questions about this. The pillars, and I'm going to say pillars of starting to coach well, because steps probably wouldn't actually give it a good, clarity, because there's not like an exact order that happens when you start to coach well. It's pillars that are present in every part of it. Yes, it'll probably happen in the same steps, but sometimes they happen out of order. Like sometimes they share on Facebook and you couldn't stop them. You got to go do a health assessment with them before you even have a chance to explore, whichever one of those scenarios. But here's the thing. If you follow this layout right here, I promise you, this is the success for setting up coaches well. And it starts with, no matter where they're at, it's an invite, and then exploring it, finding out what they're looking for, getting clarity. What's really cool about this, everything I go over is going to mirror exactly what we do with people's health. And now we're going to take them into the next stage of it. And again, if you've been duplicatable, if that's the correct way of doing it. But Dr. A said duplicatable, so I say duplicatable because I want to be duplicatable with Dr. A. Anyways, so it gets even easier if you do this. So you invite and you explore. You send the video after they do this, and you help that to send them videos so they order their health coach kit. What you do next is going to be a combination of these things. Ideally, first and foremost, you're going to jump in and do health assessments. If you're exploring coaching, it's probably for one of the other reasons, which is like they want help. If you have someone that doesn't have their first people ready, I'm usually like, we pump the brakes a little bit, because they shouldn't live in a cave, and we want to set them up for success. But again, Don and Danae are going to go into that. Then we also start a group message with one level of their support team. So Don, when you start a new coach, you start a support thread with myself, Ashley, you, and your new coach. And we set up a meet and greet to help them launch. The meet and greet, Don, by the way, like, it's not to meet them. Like, you probably have already met them. Actually, do you want to say something about that real quick? The meet and greet is not literal. It's not like meeting them, because usually when a coach comes on, they probably have been met with before.
I love that. I love that. And guys, we're just saying this because literally I've had a couple of people be like, well, I've already met them, so I didn't need to do a meet and greet. The meet and greet is just a time to set up, to hop on Zoom to, of course, like, you're going to help them launch and what their next steps are. So it just kind of naturally happens after they buy their coach kit. And then, you're getting right into action doing health assessments, but then, you're going to hop on, officially welcome them, and then literally get into action. So that's the meet and greet, is basically the launch.
Yeah, and ideally to do it quicker than later, so like within 24 to 48 hours. And then again, you as the starting coach, you can add them to the support page as you're getting them started, welcome them. But honestly, we want to stay in 100% in action of creating wins and momentum with them. So that's why, like also step 5, launching on social media, helping them work their first post and lining up their first few posts, so they don't just think it's just one. Again, Al's going to go over that here in a bit. And then a scheduled time to circle back with them. Help them work that post. Help them catch all the people that are interested. They don't know that likes mean interest. And we've all done this before, so we know when there's interest. They'll be like, oh, that person was just being supported. Like, no, that person wants to know more information. Write them down. Oh, that person doesn't need to lose weight because that person that posted lost like 60 pounds. Like, not realizing that person that wants to lose 10 pounds wants it just as bad as that person wanted 60 pounds. And Susan and Don are nodding intently because we all know that that's how it works. So scheduling a time to help them to work that post and set up their next health assessments. Again, we're going to run with them the senior coach, which is like fat burning for a new client. And that's when we circle up at senior coach celebration, and we help lay out the next step, help them get organized, help them confirm all the cool things that they know and cast the next vision. It's like when you help someone get into fat burning, they didn't know it was coming, and you set up their 1 week check-in day to get them in flow. The senior coach celebration is the cherry on top of the start process that tees them up for the next success. So take a screenshot, write these things down. These may happen slightly out of order. But that's okay. These are all the pillars. And like, I'm just loving Dawn and Susan being like, yes, that's exactly how it goes. These are all the pillars and are so key to do. Dawn, anything you want to add in here before we let Danae just show us how we do and explore and what to do with the new coaches that are getting started?
No, Brad, I think you just nailed it. You hit every single one. And again, you know, they may come in slightly out of order, but all of these things do happen. So I love it. I think we should let Danae like jump right in and walk us through what it actually looks like.
By the way, I love what Kelly said in the chat. It's like going senior coach again for ourselves. So like with the new coach, we're going to dive in. We're going to like go senior coach again for ourselves. But this time we'll know what we're doing. So we're teaching them to do it. So yes, Danae, I'm so glad you get to speak on this topic because on our training before, you covered the like seeing potential in everyone everywhere at all times and believing that in people. Then you also covered the little mastery pieces in the first 30 days that lead into this. So unfortunately, Andrea did get the flu, so we'll have to have her back. But it actually worked out great that you got to sub in for it. So yeah, when do you really see that those are the different ways that people come to coaching or that comes up? And then what do you do as you have the interest? What do you do that
Yeah, so thanks for having me back. I agree. It really is. Those are the ways that it comes about. It's having those I see in you moments like Dawn was alluding to, and just being an active listener from that amazing health assessment that Susan walked us through a couple of weeks ago. Listen, be an active listener on there for the match. And that's where, as you can see, I have highlights all over these health assessments because these were active listening moments of coach, here's what I see could be a match for them. And so I put that all over their health assessment from the very beginning of looking at what's the bigger vision and not only just having my own health assessment glasses on, but the bigger vision of those coaching glasses, because I'm always looking for the bigger vision of their solution because we don't offer just weight loss. We offer so much more. We offer a life transformation that is so much bigger than what they put in their mouth. And they don't know what the potential is. And that's what I love. Lisa Nasco spoke about. I didn't realize this is too good to be true. And so we're just being in that place for them and listening and being on that Coach Explore, looking at, hey, let's partner together. Like Dawn said, they were nervous in the beginning to begin a health journey. And now we get to stand alongside them in this potential and believe in the gap for them, that this is going to be something that's so much bigger than them. I mean, drop it in the chat. What did you have any idea what was going to be possible? Are you thankful that your health coach reached out to you and said, hey, I believe in you. I want to do this with you. Like having someone else stand alongside you. It's not saying, let's get married today. It's saying, let's just explore the possibilities and just planting that seed. And that's really what the big, oh, look at, I'm so thankful. I had no idea, life altering. And that's really what it is. And I'm very thankful. And so being able to offer that to other people and say, my gosh, you'd be fantastic at this. I'll do it with you. I would love to coach your grandma together or your aunt or your cousin or your best friend. Oh my gosh, how incredible would that be? And then sitting on that Coach Explore together with these same questions. So we're going to send them a video. Brad posted that picture right there. This is in Simple Systems. So if you're not a senior coach yet, reach out to your mentorship team. They have these tools to give you. And Simple Systems, you may have this link once you reach senior coach. So just to clarify, but this is highlighted for you right there. Dan Valentine's video is amazing. And as a coach, go watch it first. If you haven't had a chance to watch this particular one, don't just send a video you haven't had a chance to watch yet. Go in there and do your due diligence and watch that particular one. And then think about how this is going to resonate with them. And I love asking that question, not, oh, what'd you think? Because that's just so ambiguous. But when we find out, because it's really about the match of the heart, I follow up with them, like Dawn's saying, and believe me, I've been guilty of not following up. I'm sitting here and I have a couple of names that just came to mind. And I'm like, ooh, I'm guilty of that too. But reaching out and saying, man, I want to know from that video that Dan did, what resonated with you? Let's talk today. And I don't do it over Messenger. I get on a Zoom so I can lean in, so I can actively listen. I can watch their body language and their facial expressions of what did Dan say that mattered to you, Jesse? How did that resonate with your heart? What did you see in your life? And I love how Brad and Dawn are like, oh my goodness, big nods. because that's what it is. It's not about what we see. It's about what they see and how we get to reflect that mirror back to them on this Coach Explore and say, oh my gosh, I see that for you too. And then we actively listen through these questions and take some time. Get these questions into your heart, because you never know, like Brad and Dawn have been sharing, you never know when this conversation is going to come to fruition. It may be on your weekly check-in call that all of a sudden they start sharing about how their job's been so stressful, and that's been their biggest triumph this week is they really don't like their boss. And so they're struggling with that because their kid's been sick and they really want to be home with them. Oh, there's a match. Well, what would it look like for you? What would that look like for you to be able to be home? What would you dream about? And being able to kind of unearth those things, and that's a moment of dripping. And that is a Coach Explore. That's where you get to start writing all over their health assessment, more notes and highlighting like crazy, because this is what you see for them. And it's another moment of that dripping. And then have these blank Coach Explores in your binder ready to go. That way, when you're actively on that call, pull one out, start answering those questions and staple it to their health assessment, because you have a bigger vision for their life and you get to stand in the gap for them and believe in them. So then it could, like Brad's saying, like the pillars are pillars, but they could be movable. So it could be that you start asking a couple of questions and then you get to drop that seed. I would love to partner with you in this. It sounds like you could explore what it is that I get to do. Let's just look at it and see if it's something that resonates with you. And then being able to go into this. Then when you're on this Coach Explore with them, you get to sit there and dream about what's bigger. This is the opportunity to sit down and look at those 5 names or more. You may need to start writing in the margins. And what would it be like for your best friend to be able to go to the pool this summer with her kids and to feel confident in that bathing suit instead of sitting on the bench? What would that be like for her? Oh, tears start flowing when you start talking about the heart and when you get to start talking about that bigger vision for their life. When you were on your Coach Explore, do you remember that first name? Drop that first name. We all remember our first. Drop that first name in the chat. Who was your first that was on your Coach Explore that you got to have that aha moment of, oh my gosh, I could help her do that. I could do that with Dawn. I could totally do that with Brad. And so I love that. My mom, Kathy, Alyssa, it's all about family right there. And that's what it is. It's looking at that bigger vision for what it would be like for those people and to help them to see. And it's the beginning of a health assessment. It's those same questions that as coaches we would ask on a health assessment, that dreaming, that part 1, that awakening. We just get to awaken them as a potential new coach to see what the bigger vision is going to be like when we get their mama on that health assessment and we get to dream big with them. It's just a little drip. Just we turn on the faucet just a little bit. Brad, Dawn, do you have anything to add to that?
I take myself off. Dawn, anything you want to add to that?
It's just so beautiful, Danae. Like, you guys listen to her heart and listen to how just natural this is. You know what this is? It's authentically caring about the other person. And it's not only caring about them, but it's caring about the people that are in their world. That's all it is. And caring enough to ask the questions and to help them dream. And Danae, I just want to say just one quick little thing, you guys. So if you are a newer coach, you're going to be doing these explorers with your mentor. And
Yes.
so be doing 1 or 2 for you and with you, and then you're going to get more comfortable and you're going to be doing these together, and then pretty soon you're going to be leading it and your coach is going to be there watching and edifying. So this whole process, don't worry, you don't have to be like Danae right now, like bro. She's done a lot of these and done a lot of practicing, and so wherever you're at in the process, you can always jump back in with your mentorship team and say, hey, I'd love to do a Coach Explore with you. Can we go back and do a few of these together?
Yes, definitely.
I'll jump in here because there's some great questions in the chat. Danae, so good. Okay, I love what you did there, because your health assessments, that you're recognizing these from the very beginning. So just moving it to an explore where you get to actually explore. And I love how you said this is kind of can happen over a conversation. Before you explore it, you send the videos. There were some questions in the chat. In Simple Systems, all of our like go-to explorers are there. There's like a pastor Zoom. There's like a health professional one. There's 2 main ones that we generally go to. There's the Dan Valentine one. It's really, really good. And then there's also Becca Tinter's, which I'm covering over right here. It's the short, simple, 15 down and dirty. Sometimes, like we said, I mean, it's like the facts, like the actual stuff. where the Dan Valentine one has like all the heart and the vision and everything we want them to see. That's the stuff that you could talk about with, like Danae asked about, what resonated with you most. So those are the primary ones we send. They're in Simple Systems. And then the Coach Explore form is there too. And I love the questions there. And Danae, I think one thing you said, just I want to highlight there, is that you're giving a lot of clarity what coaching will look like once you get started. So like, it's not like thinking about it and then they order the kit and then we think about getting started. Like, you're like running into action, getting the first people that want to get started from the very beginning. So like, it's just a natural flow because all those reasons that we talked about there, you know, they're going to be ready to help their first few people, and it's us helping out. Anything else you want to add on that? Like, that would be helpful to recap?
I think that's great. It really is helping them to move forward into action. And then at the end of that, sending them the video. Once you're done with that Coach Explore, sending them the link from Simple Systems. And I saw a note from Joyce in there that she's asking where Simple Systems is. Reach out to your business mentors. Once you reach Senior Coach, they'll send you over that link to save and bookmark onto your computer. It's an active link. So that's where that how to purchase your business kit video is. You just pop that over to them, and that their brand new coaching thread once they become a health coach. And once they purchase that health coaching kit, you will get an email saying, oh my goodness, congratulations on sponsoring the brand new coach. And then they're also going to get an email, which is what Brad is showing here on the left, where it says, hi, Allie, this is a new welcome Optavia email that they'll receive. And at that point, it's really helping them to continue to get into action and to move forward within those first reach outs. So again, holding their hand, it's just like when we went to, when we became senior coaches in the beginning, we're not quite sure how to move forward or what to say. As that leading coach, we get to do that with them. We get to help them with their first post. What is it that you're wanting to create? Let's look at, do you want to have a coming out and do a before and now? Do you want to post what one of your biggest non-scale victory is? And from that Coach Explore, I also write down, what are they saying? What resonated with them the most? Where are they at in their journey? What's changed for them? I write down all of those things, and that becomes an active list of how I can breathe back into them that they have value. This is something you could post. Girl, you just had to go buy new jeans because you, as one of my clients just told me this last week, one of our brand new coaches said, I have baggy bottoms. And I'm like, oh, we got to post that. That's the best. And so writing all of those things down to believe back in them that they have value, that they can add those things onto social media and to give them that confidence so that they can continue to move forward. And so if you have a coach that's actively in motion and starting up those health assessments and setting up those three-way messages with you, keep that momentum, keep that ball moving forward. That meet and greet is so pivotal. And what it really is it's an opportunity for us to keep them in action and to continue to stoke that fire of coaching and passion for others. But if they're moving forward, don't stop the train either. So it's not like, oh, wait, hold on, we can't do a health assessment until we meet with your coach. There are going to be some pillars that might move, but reach out to your mentorship team, find out how things are going. It doesn't mean that you want to put it off like a week. You want to continue to give them those tools. So there is kind of like an ebb and a flow within it. But this starting point video is now embedded within the learning platform that Brad's going to speak to. And it comes in their welcome email already. So you can see the new format that just rolled out, which thank goodness. How amazing is that they get the tools right off the bat. So again, set those expectations, let them know that this amazing email is coming, and there's a plethora of information in there to flag it, hold on to it, because we'll refer them back to it. And then they can begin to engage in the learning platform. But Brad, would you like to speak to what that meet and greet looks like at the learning platform?
Yeah, actually, Allison's going to cover that. But I think what I want to show people here is you don't really need to worry about this, because I think a few people ask, what do I need to save this email? This is just for you to know what your new coach is. So this right here is this is the email that they'll get. The link in there takes them to the new OLC. And Dr. A is going to greet them. And that's what's great about it. It's a great thing that they'll find their way into. But here's the thing. We don't really talk about it as much because we really just we're going to link arms with them with their first health assessments, getting that first meet and greet set up and launching. That's the main focus. But just so you know, this is what they're going to be seeing. So if that's helpful for you. The number one tool I would utilize training-wise for a new coach would be Dan Valentine's starting point. It's in Simple Systems. You can actually, I'll show you on the next page. But if you're in action, that's what you want to be doing. But if you have someone that's going to need a little bit of help of understanding like what a cab is, how to set up calls with people, like how the first conversations are going to go, this starting point really helps orientate a new coach know exactly what to do on this stuff. So you'll probably utilize this it's like the first go-to training on a new coach that you can utilize with your new coach. And again, just because some people have had some questions, because we just had the OLC launch, and we also have some people ask what Simple Systems is. Simple Systems is where we house all of the like go-to training. It's where the Explore video was. It's where that buying the kit video is. Save that to your home screen if you don't already have it. You can see like I actually searched for starting point. I clicked on Command F and I was able to search the document for anything I wanted. But here is the new OLC. It's brand new. It's awesome. And it's going to be where we start evolving the training videos into. So it's where your coach is going to get welcomed in. That's where that link's going to take them. We don't need to worry about that right now. What we really need to do is worry about jumping in and linking arms. That's what makes the game changing of a new coach. But what's cool is we'll train more to this as Up to Be a Learning Center evolves. They're going to be adding more and more videos. Like last week, they added Doug was like short video about like understanding our 4 components. It'll have small training snippets that we can refer our coach back to that will just continue to help them along their journey. So more information to come on that, but I wanted to answer that. Those are the training videos that we should reference on there. So and if you have more questions on that, ask your support team. But basically, because someone asked, like, what training video do we utilize, like, as they're starting? It's the starting point would be the go-to one to utilize as you're launching. But Alice will help us finish up this call and be like, okay, great, we've explored. We've seen those fits. Like, we've made all those notes on the health assessment. We've made the invitation. They're ready to launch. They have their first health assessment. Allison, what do you do as you launch and start up a new coach?
Yeah. Hey, good morning, guys. So again, just want to reiterate just exactly what everyone said, is that starting and launching a new coach, we should almost have like a flow chart, you know, like, wouldn't that be nice? Because this isn't like steps necessarily. It's the pillars. You want to make sure the pillars are getting done. And also it's just kind of flowy based on where they're at. So I kind of liken starting a new coach to like starting a client getting into fat burn. So, you know, in those first couple days, when someone's getting into fat burn, you let the client know kind of what to expect. Same thing with a health coach, a brand new health coach. You're going to kind of let them know what to expect. But first things first, after you've done an explore, and like either you've done a full explore with them, or either they've got someone noticing, there's all these reasons why someone has their first client, or they have someone they want to talk to. We're going to set up health assessments. We're going to get right into action with them and set up these health assessments. So just to be clear, you guys, when you're starting a new coach, they either already have peeps. There's already peeps being like, what you doing, girlfriend? Or they have someone that they want to talk to about it. So they either already have peeps, and you just go ahead and move straight to those health assessments. Get them scheduled, get into action. Or if you've done an explore with someone and they're like, yeah, I think I'd like that. I definitely want to get into health coaching. Well, we've got to go kind of find those people. We've got to kind of garner some I don't know, interest, right? Like, and so we're going to do that. And what that looks like is that's the meet and greet. So if they don't have someone kind of hot and ready to kind of get on the phone and do the health assessment, we're going to schedule the meet and greet. And I'm going to echo what Dawn said, and she probably said this because of me. Like, I always was like, well, I want you to meet them. Let's do the meet and greet. And she's like, Allison, you're already in action. Like, you know, like the meet and greet isn't really literally a meet and greet, right? The meet and greet, you guys, is to kind of get back on and, oh, I got an incoming critter right here. Can you go find Papa, please? Tell Papa you're hungry, right? Go tell him outside. I'll be right with you then, okay? Okay, so sorry about that. I got a little West man over here. He's really cute. So basically, what you're gonna do, you already have the people ready, you're doing health assessments, or you're gonna do the meet and greet. You guys, before this kind of fills your brain and you're like, meet and greet, what is this? And you guys are taking notes. Can I recommend you do this? Go look at the meet and greet form. There's a form. And what you'll find on the form is that, oh yeah, I do. I want to awaken them to what's possible. I want to hear about like what they want. And I want to hear about how much money that would be great for them. So if at any point in this, you're like, what do I do? Health assessments, meet and greet. Look at the stinking form, the form. And if you don't know the stuff on the form, it's time to do a meet and greet. Is that making sense, Dawn?
Yep, Allison, it sure is. I just love how how simple it is, because it's just kind of the natural flow of they've got people ready. Let's jump on the phone. Let's get those health assessments going. And then, like Danae so beautifully said, if they don't have someone right then, or if there's a tiny lull, like within the first 24 hours, guys, it is absolutely great. It's standard to hop on, do meet and greet. And then the launch is what's that next step for them. So you're going to continue to schedule those health assessments. Maybe they're ready to put a post up, and then you're going to help them do that. Al, can you talk a little bit about, so you have set up their first health assessments, probably they're in a group message with one level of their support team, and then you're scheduling that time to hop on at the same time you're doing some health assessments with them. What does it look like once you have done a couple health assessments and you've debriefed, or maybe you've done one and you're hopping on that meet and greet? What's some of the next steps? Because I know helping them launch on social media, there's some people that kind of have some questions on like, well, how does that fit in, and when's the right timing for that?
Right. So first things first, right. Do the health assessments of the people who have their hands raised. Get into action. Do the meet and greet. Find out what this person wants, how much money they'd like to make. Let them know what it's going to look like systematically. Like, this is exactly what it's going to look like, and we're going to do a Facebook launch. We're all going to do this together. What I typically do that I think is kind of, it's fun and it really provides a lot of structure, is to let the new coach know, we're going to do your quick launch. We're going to do something on social media. We're going to set up some time, like basically let the post sit for a while. Are you comfortable doing that? Let the post sit for a bit. And in about 8 to 12 hours, we're going to come back to it. And together with me and Kaylee, we're going to help you respond to people. We're going to help you like and fully work the post. I don't use those words because they don't know what it means to fully work a post, right? But that's essentially what we're doing, is we're letting them know, we're going to help you with your first 5 to 6 people, and this is exactly what it's going to look like. So let's work on a post, and then 8 hours later, we're going to come onto Zoom or Facebook video. We're going to help you literally with the words to respond to people, and we're going to help you set up the health assessments for the next day. And then people are like, oh, okay. It's kind of like we're getting them into health coach fat burn. You know, does that make sense, you guys? Like, we're going to show them that if we can help someone get to senior coach quickly and it be simple and easy and fun, they're going to want to do more of it. So meet and greet, get into action with what they want, get those health assessments going. And then the other thing is keep kind of, I'm going to use the word, I keep massaging it. So what I mean by that is it might not be one post. I mean, raise your hand. If 5 clients, if someone went senior coach from one post, I've had it happen. Can it happen? Heck yeah, it can happen. But sometimes it doesn't happen and people might get discouraged. Let them know, look, this is going to be kind of like a consistency thing. Like, how do you feel about posting daily? Like, we don't want to put them right into the 3x3x3, like posting 3 times about health. If they went from like what I did, having 50 friends and never posting, it wasn't appropriate for me to post 3 times a day about health. So we want to meet them where they're at. For some people, it might be 3 posts a day. For other people, it might be gradually working into that. So you guys do that with them. And so, yeah, Dawn's saying it's usually not one post. Sometimes 5 clients do come from one post, and isn't that awesome? Wouldn't we all love that? Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. So continually get back into action, help them with the post, help them use our words and basically how we want to show up in this world, and show them how fun it can be. And so you're going to consistently do that until they're at senior coach, or, I mean, yeah, did I cover that, Dawn? Does that make sense?
Yeah, Allison, I'm watching the chat blow up. People are like, learning, loving this. The getting really hands-on with people, and they're keeping it simple and showing them how to do it. So the setting up the time to hop on Zoom and literally maybe even screen sharing, but showing them, how do you respond? How do you go to that post, respond to people? Referencing the fact that we do have a document, how to take it from social media to the phone. We've got a document, you're referencing that, but you're not just giving them the document and saying, all right, guys, go do that.
Right.
You're jumping in with them and actually showing them how, and in real time answering their questions. And what I love, you guys, is because usually Brad and I've talked about this quite a bit as we're really like investigating and looking at what is the best way to launch a coach and how are we seeing the best results. is that it's happening over a series of maybe 3 to 5 posts in the beginning, like launching them to senior coach. 3 to 5 posts. The first one is usually, you guys, just like a spontaneous like giggle out loud on Facebook. They're so excited they fit back into their skinny jeans. They couldn't help but put something up, and people are noticing, because oftentimes that's what sparks the whole conversation about coaching with them. And then the second one is a very intentional post where you're actually talking to them about maybe their victories, their non-skill victories, maybe their before and now picture. And then we get to help them in that very first week or two see that how we live out loud is not just about weight loss, because maybe they're posting a recipe, then maybe they're posting a thank you to their health coach and showing the process of that they didn't do this alone, that they have a health coach, and they're showing another before and now picture. And through the process of that, you're helping them follow up, set up conversations, and you're also showing them what it looks like to live out loud in a way that's not just weight loss, but that's all of our components. Maybe they're posting something about being active. And then you're literally setting them up for that senior coach celebration and for what's next.
Yeah, totally. Boom.
Great job, Al.
That's it. Basically, I liken it to this, that you're helping them find their authentic voice. You're helping them get into the groove. You're helping them get into Optavia fat burn with coaching so that they feel comfortable and confident responding to people. And it's hard to text that back and forth and to screenshot it. So I say, if you have the time, hop in and do it with them. I mean, wouldn't everybody like that, to like do work together, right? So then as soon as they have their first, their first 5 clients, which can happen super quickly, or it can take a week or 2 of massaging or finesse or whatever, we're using all different words here, make sure you schedule that senior coach celebration. And at that point you're saying, you're kind of resetting, re-aiming and saying, hey, was that fun? Do you have other people looking, asking, and do you have your lists, and what would you like to do moving forward? And then you have the clear expectation or the clear guide of how to help them moving forward. Brad, anything I need to add there?
The chat is blowing up. Allison, thank you so much for the clarity. And for those that want to ask more questions, we're actually going to have a bonus time after we wrap up here. Don's going to give some tips on some massive action at the end of the month, and Al will be available to answer this. But I think the main thing is that this mirrors the health journey so much, and the more clarity you can give is helpful. And here's the number one thing, is if you hit these pillars, that's why we call them pillars, because you can kind of see how they all need to be there along the journey. But we're going to let action be the main thing, because people move forward through action. We want to keep the pulse on action, and that's going to always be your guide, especially the senior coach celebration. Like, so do you have to wait for it to be officially senior coach? Because sometimes they start clients at the end of the month, and then their fifth starts in the next month. They're not senior coach yet. Take the next step that continues the next step of action. So anyways, let action be your guide and massage it like Al said. Oh, so good, Al. Can't wait to help more people have the wins that we're having. So let's hit this as we wrap up here. I'm just going to give you a condensed version. Finishing February strong and the momentum effect. I'm not going to go into the numbers, which is how income grows, like as you continue to add momentum. The key is what I'm going to encourage you guys here, especially all of you guys that are newer coaches, actually everyone across the board, you're never above the momentum effect, is I'm going to challenge you guys to start 5 people on their health journey by the end of the month. There are people out there. It's the time. Your people have referrals, and they should become coaches, and you shouldn't take that referral. But there are tons of people that want help. My encouragement and challenge to you, especially because there is like at least 20 people that are 5 clients away from their first month of executive director right now. 5 clients by the end of the month. That, if you want to know what creates a growing business, because that's kind of what we're training here, what creates a transformation business is always adding fresh people. That's doorways into other people. That is the connection link to someone being like, oh, that person and that person, same thing? Okay, let's do this. Momentum effect. Everyone who's played games or sports here knows momentum is what wins the game. So 5 people by the end of the month. If you're an executive director, it's also giving yourself like a $600 raise. If you are like associate director right now, it's like giving yourself a $1,000 raise. So 5 clients by the end of the month. You guys down? You guys with me? Drop a 1 in the chat, or 5 in the chat if you're down to join that channel. I'm not going to go over this stuff right here, but I am going to tell you this. I wasn't going to do another scholarship, but I honestly just can't get over of how about like how much you guys are blowing my mind with the life change, how well you're doing, your consistency, how you're showing up. I'm in your guys' client support page. I see your clients crushing it. So I couldn't help but say, you know what? Let's get the funnel filled. And I know a lot of you guys don't need scholarships, so utilize this as another conversation tool. as we're finishing up the month, because Dawn's going to go over some things that will just, Dawn, we just did the training on like the in-depth understanding of 5 and 1, and we just jumped right in by talking about stool, so that was just on my brain. Anyways, sorry, getting distracted as we wrap up here, you guys. Sorry, I'm all excited because I just love being together, you guys, on Saturday mornings. $3,000 in matching scholarships up for grabs. So $50 total. Utilize them or not. It can be a conversation starter tool. It could be that link to someone wanting to get started. They're available for new clients, new coaches, and returning clients, but they have to be 9 months inactive for that to start. They need to have like a real fresh start. Use this for lots of connections, and if you have someone ready, this will not be announced. You only get this for being on the training. Like, you guys show up, you're investing in yourself. I have no problem investing in you. Is message myself and your entire support team, because they are so generous. They may be the ones that jump in and grab the scholarship for you faster because they're awesome like that. But message all of us, and then let us know the client ID if the money's on already, the wellness credits are on, and the secret phrase is momentum difference. Guys, you got the momentum difference by the end of the 5-client challenge. You have to be eager to play, so congrats. Dawn, with that being said, let's wrap up today. It was a great call. Here's what you guys need to fly this week. You guys know it all. You guys have invested your time. You guys are honing your craft. You're seeing the consistency pay off. Continue to dive all in with your health. The tempo of your business is how much you commit to moving forward. You know, people can sense when people are moving forward. Do massive action these last 6 days of the month. Dawn's going to do a bonus training on this for those that want to stay on. Message your support team. Do not miss this step too, what you want by the end of the month. There is also a goal in saying, hey, I want this, declaring it. Kind of like why our program works is once you say what you want, tell your coach and are accountable with them. Not accountable like, hey, you're going to make me do it, but accountable like, let's do this together. That's the game changer. Then besides that, recipe for success, grab a map, join us next Saturday as we kick off the month of March and build into the next momentum. So that's it. Stay consistent. Everything boils down to that. Amazing training today. The chat blew up. Congratulations for everyone investing in self. Dawn, anything you want to say as we wrap up and then move into the after hours?
Oh my gosh. No, today was awesome. It was so great to all be back together. And I love that the action steps each week are very much the same. Number one, all in with your health, and I love that it's not really new, mind-blowing stuff each week. It's the same, consistent, and that it all builds on each other. So yeah, I don't have anything to add. I am super excited to jump into some action steps though, because I saw the chat blow up. I saw how many people are down to help 5 more people in the next few days. 5. And you guys, I want you to all know that is so possible. So regardless of what you're thinking in your brain right now, it's so possible. I think a lot of you were like, yes. So Brad, can we just hop right into action and how to do that?
Let's wrap it up. So this kicks off the after hours. Someone's already drawn a screen, so the party is starting. You guys, thanks for investing in yourself. Great call today. The chat blew up. Yes, so feel free to get any of your questions ready. You can rapid fire at Dawn, Allison, or Danae about Start a Coach. But Dawn's going to kick us off like, okay, we want to go into massive action right now. And by the way, just so you know, massive action is always rewarded. Whether it happens this month, those seeds plants always pay off. So that's the other reason to go into massive action. But Dawn, hit us with some like, okay, grab our notepad. These are like things that I could do right now as we finish up this call that would like turn up the tempo so I can start those 5 clients. And I'll just add one more thing in there. The other reason why momentum's so key, you guys, besides our business, like this is what it does for our business, but there was almost 300 people on this line today. Anyone good at math? How many clients would that be if we all started 5 people on their road to health? For those math people, it's 1,500. But that's only because it's round numbers. Anyway, it's a lot of people. You guys, we're making a huge difference together, and that's just the other thing I want to say. Thank you guys for making a difference in this world. So with that being said, let's hear from Dawn. Massive action, Dawn. What should we do?
Wow, boom. Mind blown, 1,500 people. All right, so guys, grab a pen, and let's just real quick dive into a few things you can do right now. Number one is check out your Facebook, check out your profile picture. When's the last time you changed that puppy? Is it a before and now picture? And if it's not, change it to one. And I'm going to give you a little challenge. Make a new one. Go take a picture. Like one thing that is so awesome. I am watching the coaches that are bringing on the most clients. And you know what they do? They get a fresh before and now picture every few weeks. They're always taking a new picture. They're making it fun. They're keeping it fresh and they're reintroducing themselves. So today, change your profile picture. When you change your profile picture on social media, it notifies all your friends and it shows up there. So go ahead and do that. Take a look at, have you reintroduced yourself on social media lately? Have you shared a little bit of your story or an update or the after? Y'all, on this line, we have a lot of people with afters, which means you've had your initial weight loss journey, but now you're taking your health to optimal. You're on a journey of what's next. Show that. Maybe do 3 side by side or whatever, but make sure you've got your profile picture updated. Make sure you've done an introduction of yourself and a little update on your own health journey. Some other things you can do. Okay, guys, grab your map. Okay, grab your map. All over here where you've got your on deck, your little like ICU of who needs a little TLC, some love, who's just about ready to be a client. Message every single one of those people today. Like, set a timer, maybe right after this call, but commit to yourself to actually send a little bit of love to these people today. And you can choose to reach out with the scholarships in a way that is really authentic and personal. Sending a message and saying, hey, I've been thinking about you. I'm excited for you to have your own transformation story when you're ready. I happen to have a savings available today, and I saved one for you because I know how excited you are. I'd love to chat with you about that. Letting them know that you thought of them, that you have something available and you saved it for them because you know what they want and what they've shared with you. So that's how we use the scholarships. It's just a really great way to keep it really personal. Letting people know that they're special and that you believe in them. Another thing that you can do today, guys, and even over the weekend is send some extra love to your clients that are just on fire and let them know that you have a little bit of savings or something and that you know they had someone on their hearts and that you thought of them, that you thought of their mom, who over the last week or 2 has shared that they've got somebody on their heart or somebody noticing. Did you know that the scholarships also work for coach scholarships? So maybe reach out and let them know, hey, I was thinking about your mom. How about we help her get started with a little bit of a savings? And did you know that we could help her together and you could have a savings off your coach kit too? Let's talk about that. You guys move the conversations to the next step for each person. So change your profile picture, reach out to every single person that's on the front of your map. And make sure that you have just an authentic, like reach out and touch to them and help them move forward. Offer those scholarships in a personal and authentic way. Reintroduce yourself on social media, and then think about referrals. Think about all of your on fire and active clients and who in their world can you help get healthy in the next few days. Who can you partner together with on that? Who of your clients is having an amazing success that maybe you'd like to encourage them to do a Live Out Loud post. Maybe you'd like to have them share on social media and tag you. I'm so excited that I'm not only down 10 pounds, but I have more energy than I've had in years. Thank you, Dawn, for sharing this journey with me and believing in me. Boom, right there. You either have a potential coach or you've got a bunch of referrals coming your way. So I would challenge you to pick maybe 1 or 2 of your clients, and over the next couple of days, invite them to be someone that you highlight. Brad, anything that you want to add to this? I don't want to give too many things because you guys literally dive in and doing like 5 or 6 of these. You will have 5 clients before you even know it.
Nope, I think it was really, really good. I mean, you can always throw out the starting conversations. You hit on referral. You hit it all. I don't really have anything to add. It's so good.
Awesome. Okay. Anybody have any questions for Al, Danae, Brad, or I? Or Danae, Allison, you guys have anything to add to the kind of like tips?
Well, while people are thinking, and maybe type in the chat, or you can come off mute and ask the questions. And if you have the question, I always like to reiterate, there are no silly questions. If you have the question, someone else is probably thinking it. But someone else did ask, how do we find confirmation of wellness credits? All you need to do is just let us know that it's on, but you'll get an email confirmation that you put them on there. So just all you have to do is say, yep, it's on. Here's the ID number, and you're good to go. So in the support message, and we'll take care of it. So great question. Let's see here. Everyone's super excited. They're saying, thank you. This is awesome. So good. No questions, just like celebration stuff. So I guess, Dawn, Allison, or Danae, is there anything you'd like to re-add to that, like Dawn was saying? Is there anything you would re-add to what you said, or anything you want to throw in there additionally?
I don't think so. I think the main thing is just get into action. And if all of this is kind of gobbledygook in your brain, connect with your mentorship, and they're gonna help guide you. You know, I mean, I think for me, this is 6 years of figuring it out. And so if all of this is like in your brain, really connect with your support team, and they're gonna help you.
I agree. And don't be scared. Don't be scared to reach out and to see that bigger vision for other people and to believe in them. I am so thankful that I was offered coaching, and I remember I had to get out of my own head and get out of my own way to be able to share that with other people. So do that. Get out of your own head. People are hungry for hope, and hope comes in so many different forms, especially with health coaching. So just remember what it means to you to be a health coach, and imagine what it's going to be like when you get to help somebody else find that freedom as well.
Gotcha. We are starting to get some really great questions in here. If you haven't been dripping or in layering, where would you start? What's cool about this is this has been in the training, so you could actually go back. Like Susan covered some killer stuff of how they say, like she says that today, you actually covered some stuff on that before, and you also covered it in your first 30 days. It's so, you know what's so funny is you get so good at dripping it that even in our training, it's so quick. But what would you, Dawn, Allison, what would you say? I'll let you, Danae, go first. What would you say that helps like with the dripping? Like if you haven't been dripping or layering, where would you start?
It's really, like Allison said, take a second, look at those questions, look at how coaching is a match, and believing that that's possible, and just actively listening for the heart behind the words that they're saying on every time that you have a client check-in day, every time that you're even just standing at the grocery store, having a conversation, or at church. Have your coaching glasses on. Always be listening for how this is a match for other people. What we do is so different and such a different concept than what they could possibly fathom. So we dream first. And that's, for me, is the biggest thing, is really recognizing that this is for so many people, and they may not even have a health journey with you yet. It may be that you drip coaching. And so dripping coaching is a natural part of just inspiring other people to dream bigger than what they can see in themselves. It's not some weird hook that we're trying to do. So switching your own personal concept to have those questions in you. Well, what would that life look like? Oh my gosh, what would it look like for you to have freedom, to not be tied down to a job? Oh my gosh, you sound like a health coach. You just told me that your biggest celebration this week was that you didn't eat that box of donuts. I bet that everybody recognized at work that that's different. Who's been noticing? And then as they say, oh, well, actually, my friends were asking why I picked up a bar instead of eating the donuts on President's Day that my friend brought in. Oh my gosh, and what'd you say to that? Did you feel like you had the words to share? That's them probably reaching out because they want what you just did. They don't have that. Let's do it with them. And just having that constant within you questions and exploration at every point is where that dripping just constantly flows out of who you are. Does that help? Is that clarity?
That was super awesome today. And I think another way to just think is you're always thinking about that next potential in them, because here's the real deal, you guys. Like, here's the unplug. People for real do better when they're a coach. It is harder to succeed in your health when you're not paying it forward. So we want to surround them with so much success and referrals and partners around them, with them getting into this community. I mean, this is the after party. Like, the program is just the warm up. It's just like the lobby. This is the party that they don't know about. So good. Allison, you said you have a killer response on that one too.
Yeah, I have a really great example of this. Angela and I, this last week, I noticed a client of hers posting in our support page a before and after. She's celebrating 50 pounds. And with my health coaching glasses, I'm like, Ange, what up with this, man? Like, have I met this girl? Hello. And she's like, yeah, she doesn't want to coach, blah, 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 these things. And it's like, well, let's celebrate her, right? Let's get on an integration call. And we got on one of the best integration calls, and I cried. Because this gal was, maybe she does or doesn't want to be a health coach. I don't know. I got my little friend over here again. He wants his calcium. Here you go, bud. All I know is that what she said was, yes, she's lost 50 pounds. Yes, her life has changed. Just a minute. I'll be right with you. where is dad, right? Hello. But anyway, she was like, well, and what I asked, sorry, train of thought, what I asked was, what's been the big thing, like what's been huge for you? And she was like, you know what? What's been really big for me is like my mind shift. Like I really am so excited about getting my mind healthy. And Ange and I just took a step back and in extreme boldness was like, Kendra, that's what we do. Have you ever thought about maybe helping a few friends? Like I would say that aside from like health coaching, like the income's great, right? But the number one thing that Ange and I do is we provide transformation in your mind. And like, is this something that you would ever think about exploring? And I said that for her, y'all. It wasn't for me. I'm not trying to get her. I don't want someone on my team who isn't engaged, who isn't going to answer the phone. Like it just muddies up the tree view. You know what I mean? But this is about her. I saw an opportunity for this to potentially help her long term in her life. And, she's thinking about exploring that and what that might look like. And that was about her. Does that make sense?
So good. All right, we got some other really good things about Allison. Like, I just want to put exclamation mark. That was so good. Usually we don't record the after party, but I'm so glad we did this time. It's so good. There's a few other quick things I want to bring up, and I think we want to wrap up by 25 after. I see the questions keep pouring in. Real quick answer, because this is cool. We do ship free to worldwide to military bases, and it's at FPO addresses. Like, yes, so that counts, which is really cool for all over the U.S. And here's the other thing, too, to what Allison was saying here. And another thing I would encourage you guys. Guys, here's really the stats. Like, really. 1 in 3 coaches generally go senior coach over all of Optavia. So the key is get people in the game. Get people in the game. I am proud to tell you in our organization, we actually are at 1 out of 2 people go senior coach in our organization. That's props to you guys, crushing it and really caring about what you're doing with these people. But here's the thing. Danae told Denise forever, no way in heck I'm coaching. And look at her. I told Dr. Ray, no go. I told Dr. Ray to his face, like, no way I'm doing this. You know what? You got to believe in people. You got to have those coaching glasses on, and you got to get really good at dripping and then inviting. Like, you got to make good at making the connections like Danae was talking about. So if that's your practice this week, you guys, just practice it, and that's where the consistency comes in. So other great questions here as we wrap up here. Let's do at least 3 more. Dawn, I'll kick it to you on this. With the pillars, they may not happen in order. Do you recommend waiting till they have their first client before ordering their coach kit?
That's such a good question. So here is my answer to that. We want to have them have people on their hearts. Obviously, that's why they're becoming a coach. So if someone doesn't have someone on their heart that they want to help and have, a really good idea of who that first person or the first couple of people is going to be, then we want to really kind of go back and have more conversation around that and maybe encourage them to live out loud or something like that. So the coach kit gets ordered when we hop on that first health assessment, usually. So as you're setting up that first health assessment, you've got someone to talk to, you've got that potential client right there. You send over the link for them to order the coach kit so that they've got that ready to go, so that when the person says yes, because we know that the person's probably going to say yes if they're hopping on the phone with us, that they can be ready to place that order as soon as you get off that call. Brad?
What I would say is this is a great question. I think it's and everything, yes, to everything you just said. What I would, if you're listening to this, because again, I'm a person that likes black and white answers. So you tell me those options and I'm like, I hate you. Like, I just want to know what to do. Here's what I would, I'm not saying that to you. I'm just saying, like, cause this becomes a little bit, you have to work the relationship here, because this is what we're doing. We're investing in relationships. I would encourage all of you to have it be a gold standard that people have their first clients ready to go. They should have their first referral. Like, they should have their first 2 or 3 people. People don't live in a cage. It would let it put up your antennas if they don't have anyone to start at the exact moment. Let it put up your antennas. But if you explore with them, if you understand that they're ready, like, you can always say, hey, why don't we hold on for a little bit longer and let's take some of those steps. But if they're down, I wouldn't say no, don't order their kit. I would just be like, I would ask myself, why aren't they further along? I want to hold that gold standard because, what we focus on is what we create. So I want to hold you to think like that is the norm. It's just like when you guys probably changed that your norm was your clients just crushed it and then they all started doing it. Like just have, I don't know, Allison, you're nodding intently. Anything you add to that?
Well, I don't want to muddy up my tree view with someone who's failure to launch. Is this recording? I don't really mean that, you guys. And the thing is I think it can kind of go either way. Sometimes it takes the initial, like making the commitment, drawing the line in the sand, getting the kit, and then getting into action. And then other times, I mean, if they don't have someone ready, or if they can't like actively write out a list of people, maybe you might want to take a step back. So it's kind of like, it's not black or white.
Take another pre-step, and I would say let the relationship be the guide. Like, again, I would just say if you're a betting person, be like, if you had to bet $1,000 that they're ready to go, like, what's going to help you pony up that bet? Like, if they have clients ready to go, yes, it's probably going to be. If they're not, anyways, hopefully that answers the question. I would say you wouldn't stop, but again, just have that be your gold standard. And again, sometimes people just need to get in the game. That's what I was going to go with like the 1 out of 2 people become senior coach. You don't know who's going to do it. You want to qualify and pour it and set up expectation. But I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Some of you guys aren't football fans, but like one of the best quarterbacks they ever had was an undrafted quarterback that was a triple backup. And the only reason he was on the team is because someone got cut. And he ended up being one of the best quarterbacks of their team of all time. He just needed to get in the game to figure out that he was any good. So sometimes you just got to get him in the game. Take the steps, follow the layout, and just really just help them take the next steps out. That's a great question. All right, last couple questions here. Rhonda asked a great question. What if you have a friend that can't afford a program but would like as a health coach? What I would do is I would explore with. I'm going to do a quick answer. Just get on the phone and explore the options. What ways, if we were to figure out you started on program, we have the option of paying it forward and paying for your own income. We have the option of like, hey man, everyone's got like stuff they can sell in their garage to get on program if they really truly want it. Start at the end in mind and work backwards. Partner with that person. I've had to figure out like putting cash on account for people's account until they could afford their first order. Just partner with that person, find out what they want and work backwards. Get creative with them. And maybe use the scholarship that we have available right now. They're all eating, everyone that eats food. But anyways, talk to your support team more specifically about that. That's a great question, Rhonda. I'm going to throw this up to anyone who wants to jump in as we have our last question here. Cece asked, what was the defining moment or habits that helped you get out of your own head?
Oh.
Yeah, Cece dropping
Anybody going to take that? No? Oh, the girls are muted. Now y'all stuck with me. Sorry about that. You know what it was for me is my first few clients who totally rocked their health. And the thing is, you guys, if do really great client support where you're like what Danae's been saying, actively listening. Actively listen to what these people are saying, what the clients are saying, and what pockets of their life Optavia can fill. Not literally or figuratively. I don't know what I mean there, but I'm not talking about like money pockets. I'm talking about like helping people realize that Optavia can help them long term. When you have a few clients who are totally integrated, you guys, how amazing is that? Like all of a sudden client support becomes the favorite day of the week. You know what I mean? Like raise your hand if you're ever like, oh, it's client support day. Oh, I got to call these people. But it's like sometimes if the people aren't integrated and they're not answering and they're not calling back and stuff, it doesn't fill your cup as much, But when you integrate them well and love on them, that is what helped me get out of my head because I've realized the power of what we have.
I'll jump in there.
Allison.
I'll jump in there for a quick one just because I'm a person that can be in my head too much. I think the biggest thing is just making the decision. Like there is a bunch of things you can say, but I will say simplicity is just you make the decision and you take the next steps and you show up to yourself and you take the next step. Like that's really what the difference is in getting out of your head. Focus on action. So you act your way into feeling. You don't feel your way into action. You just make the decision and you just burn all the boats so you can't go back. There was one last question, and just I'm having a hard time keeping up because everyone's like talking about how great this has been. I think I think that's it. Let's do closing up here. But I was going to say someone commented in the chat that like, hey, I started 2 coaches and they didn't go senior coach. I would say, one, there's a reason why we covered everything we covered today. Like if you do that, like honestly, I would say probably more than half your coaches will go senior coach. Some won't. That's okay. You know what? And then keep sponsoring because you could have like a dry spell where 4 people were the match and your next 3 are the match. So you know, it is, I'm just telling you what our standard is. Overall Optavia, 1 and 3, our group, 1 and 2. Way to go, you guys. You guys crush it. But that's why you follow these steps. It increases the steps of success so much. So follow the steps, do what these people share with you. Dawn, any closing thoughts on today? Was amazing.
This was so amazing, Brad. Thank you so much. I'm excited for next week where we're going to be just diving into March, which is a really exciting month. But you guys, Brad, I love that you shared it's just making the decision, because everybody's going to have a little bit different defining moment. Because again, it's all about you and what matters to you. Just like when we help people become coaches, it's about them and what matters to them and how their life is going to change. Love that Jamie in the chat said, thinking about being a lighthouse, thinking about just shining bright and showing up in the world and living your life out loud so that people can see it and so that people know where to go and who to ask for help and that that person can be you. I think, Brad, we've covered so much. It's just been awesome. I don't really have anything to add except for you guys. Congratulations for showing up for yourselves today. And congrats for the consistency. 5
months by the end of the month.
5 more lives change.
Yeah. I feel bad for anyone that wasn't on the training live because this chat is blowing up. There's almost a better training in the chat than us talking right now.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go do it. Congrats on investing in yourself. Continue the journey. Give this away to other people. Guys, this is the greatest self-improvement journey that you could ever be on. Appreciate you all. Thanks for bringing the fire today. Let's go change lives. 6 more days left. Let's spend all of my money. All right, bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Brad.